Well, hey there folks, welcome back once again to the Hop House. It's Eddie here. It's time for another beer review. We're carrying on with our dark beer day. And I'm going to do, well, I'm feeling it a little bit actually, so I might just do this one more in this session. And then we'll pick it up on another day. I know it says it's a dark beer day, but it doesn't mean I have to do like 12 beers in a day. Because Christ alive, if it's stouts and imperial stouts, I've not even hit the heavy stuff yet, and I'm a bit like, It'd be a long day, trust me. Right, now if you're brand new to this channel, welcome along to the Hop House. We call that because we like hoppy beer, we like house music, we're on the beer side. If you like either of those or both, then give us one of those. Give us a like, share, subscribe to this channel if it's your cup of tea. Okay, going back to a bottled ale now, an absolute classic. This beer, I've had it so many times in bottle and on draft, on cask. It is absolutely out of this world. So going a bit more trad, going a bit more traditional. So we've done the dark fruits porter, we've done the oatmeal stout, the Bateman's dark fruits porter, the oatmeal stout from Pure. We just did that sling it out stout, the recycled cocoa pops jobby from Seven Brothers. Oh, beautiful. Really, really good taste of cocoa pops in it, but then the smokiness, and go have a look at the review. Right, do you want to see what we're going to review now? Okay, classic. I could have put this in fact I might put this in my quintessential British beer playlist as well, because I'm getting into playlists now. I'm getting into playlists. And it's this Theakston Old Peculier, that with a really odd looking logo, which someone said looks like, looks something a bit perverse, but I won't go into this in this video. Theakston's Old Peculier. This beer's been brewed for so many years. Theakston's have been going for that long. And note the spelling of peculiar. It's not peculiar, it's peculiar. Although I don't pronounce it peculiar. So what it is back in the olden days, in medieval times. I don't know what time. I don't know the exact time scales. I'm not that big on history, but this here, it was a court. So Masham, where Theakston Brewery is, they were classed as a local court, a bit like now where I live in Telford, little local areas of parish councils. That's a bit like based on the church. Well, they used to have courts based on the church, and they used to, and so the Masham had an Old Peculier, and the Peculier was the court of Masham, and it decided parts of North Yorkshire. I think it was as far down as York, and then as far up as Masham and Ripon and all that sort of area. So that's why it's called Old Peculier, because they used to have like a court where it used to decide certain things. I don't think it decided on big offences like murders or anything like what nowadays we go to a crown court, but there were certain decisions, certain things made by the Peculier of Masham, and that's what gives this beer its name. I think that's it. I could be totally wrong. I know it's something to do with the court, and they used to call it Peculier. It's even got there, look, the Peculier thing on the bottle cap. Hoping my camera picks up that. Right, get it out into the glass. Sorry, ABV wise, 5.6%. So we're going slightly up. 5.6. This is unpasteurised and cold filtered. There are a lot of people that like this beer. It's been going for years. It's a brand new glass to this channel as well. I'm using this, it's Wheatwood. Oh, sorry, it's a bit watermarky, isn't it? I haven't even used it. Wheatwood, they're Cheshire based, and I've picked up some beers of theirs from Anthony's of Wellington. So they'll be coming on the channel when I next do my local lot of beers. But right now I'm using it to pour Old Peculier out of the bottle and in the glass. Now this is, it's not a stout and it's not a porter. It's just a traditional Old English ale. There are certain breweries that do these Old English ales. Now if you have a look how much the camera will pick up on that, it's not pitch black, it's not stout, it's almost like a really dark ruby colour, like a mild. I'm not a massive fan of milds, but this is like a turbo mild because it's 5.6%, whereas milds are usually about 3%, 3.2%. but it's got that sort of colour vibe going on about it. Holden's Brewery, they're based in the Black Country, they're not a million miles away from me. They do an old ale that's 7.2%, so some of these sort of traditional old dark beers can be quite strong, but they're not necessarily stouty. There's obviously roasted malt involved, look at the colour of it, but it's just rich, dark and delicious. I don't know how else to describe it. Right, let's get some aroma. We're going to put that into there, we're going to give it a whiff, see what we can sniff. Sort of dark fruity. Real sort of richness involved. I'm getting the roasted malt, but it's not like a smoky smell like I was getting out of the couple of stouts I just had. It smells more like toasted dry bread. And then there's like a fruity element to it, like a dark fruits, pruny, raisiny. Now I know, big shout out right now to the Witchwood Goblins and the Brewskis, two beer groups that I'm on Facebook, and a shout out to Mr. Phil Sweeney. He is a dark beer connoisseur. He loves his dark beers, and this is his #1 ale. So I'm putting this out to tribute to Mr. Phil Sweeney. I've got another one to do as well, tribute to Phil Sweeney, but that might have to come on another day because it's a lot stronger. The head's died down a bit because it is quite cold. I've had it in the fridge, but I've had it out in the fridge about 20 minutes, half an hour. It smells lovely though. Right, bottoms up, down the hatch, give it a whirl. Oh, that's beautiful. What a beer. What a beer. Oh, I'm really glad I let it warm up a bit. It's really... Oh, that's going to be a great beer to end the session on. It really is. So, bearing in mind, I've had a couple of really sort of chocolatey stouts. They're a bit smoky and that. How do I describe that? Roasted malt, but it's not smoky. It's not got like that smoky chimney vibe. Can't believe I'm saying smoky chimney vibe on a beer review, but well, to describe a beer. But it's got that toasted dry bread down the middle of the tongue. That's the dry bit. Down the sides of the tongue, you're getting like a pepperiness from the bitterness. There's bitterness there, but you're getting this fruitiness as well. It's not as thick as the stouts that we just had. So it's a little bit thinner, but it makes it more drinkable. It really does. That is absolutely superb. And it still holds up in this day and age. And a lot of people say that Old Peculier is not what it used to be. Whether they brought the ABV down a little bit, I don't know. But I can see why that's the #1 ale. If you like dark ales, that is a corker. It really is. Excuse me. Contains barley and wheat. See what it says on here. Unpasteurised. That's pretty much all that it says. Old Peculier the legend. Unpasteurised and cold filtered to protect the truly unique flavour of the beer. It is a truly unique flavour as well. It's lovely. On cask, I'll say on cask if it's kept well. I had it in a pub. I won't name the pub, but it was in York. And you expect to have some bloody good beer in York. You've got a lot. You've got Trembling Madness. You've got the Hop. You've got the Sam Smith's pubs. You've got Brew York. You've got so many good breweries and pubs and stuff in York. And I walked into this one pub, and I realised it was owned by quite a big chain. And I was like, Old Peculier. I was out for my dad's 70th, way before COVID, We went around the railway museum because he likes his trains, and then we did a bit of a pub crawl around York. The Christmas market was on. It was end of November. We had a brilliant day and night. But this, in that particular pub, was my disappointment of the day, because they just didn't look after it well, and it was really weak and watery, and it was just like, I think it was coming towards the end of its life, and it was really cold. It was too cold. I mean, I've had it out of the fridge for a bit. It wasn't in the fridge that long because it's been in my beer box. Maybe I shouldn't have put it in the fridge at all, but while I was doing the other beers, I thought I'd whack it in the fridge. It's really coming into its own flavour-wise. Bit of lace vision for those that love the lacing. I know you're out there. Really good. Now this Theakston's old Peculier, or Peculier, gotta stop pronouncing the R. Oh, it's really peppery now. Really peppery, British hopped pepperiness. Alongside that roasted malt, alongside that sort of pruny, sort of raisiny, fruity flavour, but it's not overpowering, it's not too Christmas cakey. This is a stunning dark beer. Now, regular viewers to the channel know, so you can tell I've had a couple of beers now and I'm feeling it because I'm waffling on. Porters, for example, are what I struggle with because I don't like licorice. Anything that's got licorice on it makes me want to vom. But also anything that's really malty and fruity, as in like, tastes like a Christmas cake or a fruit cake, because I just don't like that. It's just not my cup of tea. But this balances it beautifully. You've got that dry breadiness down the middle of the tongue. You've got the raisiny, sort of pruny, figgy vibe going on, and then you've got that peppery bitterness that sort of is in the back end. And in the aroma. In terms of trad beers, in terms of beers that have been going for years, that has to be one of the best, and it still holds up to this day. So that is going to get 2 thumbs up, 2 feet, 4 limbs out of 4. Beautiful. I'm going to get some food and maybe have a lie down. Not a lie down, I'm not that pissed. But I'm feeling it now. We'll do some more dark beers on another day. Ciao for now, people. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe if it's your cup of tea. And we'll see you next time right here on the Hop House. Eddy out.